Hello traders, let's explain this Excel that you can see in front of you. Remember, this is good for you to understand your strategy and when you can move from backtesting to real life trading. So we start from phase 1 to phase 3. Then phase 3 we go phase 3.1, 2 and 3 with the side developer 3. And then we got a final stage of STT Daniel and STT Daniel aggressive. So we got this account is actually initial account of $10,000. We're looking to lose maximum of 5%, typical CTI traders Imperium loss. Then we're looking for the worst case that I will not do less than 50-50. And I'm looking for the worst case 1-to-1. So now I just have to do my back testing for 3-4 years and I go 5 losses consecutive, but because 5 losses consecutive can be 10 losses consecutive. So now we're gonna risk in $20 per trade, and in total, if I look to lose my account fully, it will be 25. I can make it even more risky and I go for $40, but I will say that let's keep it for 20 in general for this exercise. Let me show you the table. Now I'm gonna go again for the worst case. So I'm gonna have 10 losses consecutive. Just started and I start to losing 10 times consecutive. And I go for my period of losses that you can see minus 2.5 plus my commissions cost loss. So I'm gonna add 3. So now you lost 2.5 plus the commissions. Now you got some winnings. You start breathing, you relax a little bit, but you don't go that far. You lost again, and you go 3% in total, all the way lost right now here. But because you're quite disciplined trader, it will nothing affecting you, and you move all the way up to minus 0.9, which is actually pay commissions. Because you're 50-50, you're not going anywhere. So you're still losing money. You pay to the broker. So be aware of that. On top of that, these numbers here represented that will be you be affected psychologically if you have these losses. You start trading and you start losing. So you go, this affecting you minus 1% and minus 2%. On top of that, minus 2, you can have one more loss percent because you break your rules, because psychology has been affected, you start losing. Now, we're gonna go for phase 2, which actually is the same thing, 50-50, but I improve my strategy, a nice 1-3, risk and reward. I make on them 5%. So I go the same principles, losses, a little bit better my recovery. I don't go below minus 2.5 with the sun okay, and a disciplined trader, then going 5 up, and I keep going this way. Okay, very good. Let's move up to the next phase. Phase 3, we make 15%, but now we got a problem as well. This problem is different from the problem of losing. It's the problem of making too quickly and too much. If you're making too much money too quickly, you don't know what to do with it. So if you make it at the beginnings of the time, it's even worse, and I'm gonna show you that later. But 15%, you make it the first time, so we're talking about high factor psychology is quite high. Can be minus 4, can be minus 15, you can blow up your account, you can lose more than your account. So it's very difficult to get into that point of. And I add the factor 1 to 6 risk and reward. Why? Because STT strategy can have that minimum of 1 to 6. Let's move on to phase 3.1. It's the same thing, but this time we just start making money straight away. We're just making money, no stuff. So our factor is actually, I would say, 100%, we can lose the whole account even more. This is actually very high. We make 16.7%. We got fantastic strategy, but we go 50-50%, and that's what happened. We just making money first, we don't lose it first, and we go all the way up. Fantastic, beautiful. But the psychology factor will take care about your account, and you will lose it in the long run. Some people not. The majority will. So let's move on to phase 0.32. What happened there? We just changed the strategy a little bit better. So we just make it even worse. In this case, we're gonna make still the 1.6, but we're gonna make it even worse. We're gonna lose 70% of the time, and we make 30% of winnings only. Because we are 1 to 6, we're still kind of making money, but the situation is look like that. It's a bit rough because you go all the way up, all the way down. Factor psychology, you don't go anywhere for a long time, then you start to move on, maybe you go back again to minus 6, so you don't go anywhere. So it's kind of a bit drastically movements, and it's not going on there anywhere. Now let's talk about the 3.3, which actually make up to 37%, a super high risk. Why? Well, we make the worst case as well. We lost up to minus 2.3, we go up 14%. So we got some losses in there, and then we go up again 20, 30, 40, because we actually take a very high strategy, super strong, aggressive way of trading. So we're making well, we're doing well, but because we're making so much money quickly, so much money we can lose as well. Now let's move on to the STT strategy, Daniel Martin. Look at how they look like. The drop down is minus 0.5. They go down a little bit, back to balance a little bit, $7, all the way up to 6%, smooth, going up slowly. You go down 1%, and then you go 12% up. So I can actually say the psychology factor here is minus 1, because you just go from 6 to 12, and you haven't even lost anything. So just now can actually be affecting you, but very little, very little. So the factor psychology very low. Now let's go for another option that's a bit more aggressive, which is the next one. And this is actually what happened in this case. We got the same kind of control of the losses. Our win is quite more drastically up to 11%. We go down 6%. We still 5% up. And then we go all the way up to 26 minus 7%. So every time we got a big loss, we control our losses. And then we start move on to the next winning run, even if you go 30% loss and 30% winner. So for sure you will have some questions about the details and how end up to get those conclusions. If you're looking for more details and you want to be more specific questions about that, please just contact me and we'll be happy to answer at City Trust Imperium, or you can join our team, the STT team, to working together. One more thing, if you have more questions about other topics that you would like me to talk, please add it into the chat and I will be happy to add it into future videos for the rest of the year. Thank you very much and have a great day today.